I'm still debating whether I want to make new ones or not. But it is a lot of work. It's the beginning of another large part of the project. So here's the paw that I made just now. I have to make another for the other drum. This is a leftover cutoff from when we made the ratchets. So they should be the same space. And there's our fit. And the nice thing is, this has the slight curvature that the ratchet has. So I know that it'll fit together and look and engage just like that. So the math worked out that the height between the bottom of the tooth and the top, in other words how far I had to move the mill up, just worked out to 0.1215. I could explain the math more, I could show a lot, but I think this is all you really want to see. If you're wondering what's a paw, well, it's the part of the ratchet that makes this clicky sound that you would be familiar with on this style of ratchet used for fasteners. Ratchets on the timpani, however, this is the paw. This is what we're making. This is a single tooth paw. It engages the ratchet going this direction. Makes that same sound when dragged forward across the teeth. Originally, this would have had a single tooth like this. It worked for many years, and it still works, and a lot of other companies still make it that way. But I just believe multiple teeth matching together just tends to work stronger. Less slippage. So what we're dealing with, I've already made 2 multi-tooth ratchets, or paws rather, and they fit the ratchets very nicely. Problem is, I didn't take into account how different each foot lever is, and I only modeled in the 3D printer this lever. This is to the 28, and even then I didn't make them quite right because I didn't actually take into account the position of this with the ratchet. Right now I'm taking measurements to figure out various spacings. I'll sit down on the yellow pad, draw it all out, and remake 2 more, hopefully 2 more. One nice thing about what we're doing here is I can get the ratchet to align with the paw, and then later we'll bend this using a great deal of heat to bring it in farther on the footboard. Onward and upward. So after about 30 minutes of hand fitting, this fits flat on the ratchet. So the paw that you'll see me making here is the 3rd and final paw. At this point, I have my method and order of operations all figured out, my measurements taken, and I'm confident that I can get this done correctly on the first try. In the previous episode, you saw me correct some alignment issues with the ratchets, hanger arms, pedals, and foot levers. I'm glad to say I think that it's all been sorted out, but there's still some more work to be done. The paws need to mate onto the ratchet teeth as flat as possible to prevent uneven wear and give positive locking engagement. After all my measurements and math, moment of truth.
So it's dead on the middle wheel? Oh.
Yeah. So when you go, the pressure wants to push the pedal back like that, so it catches it.
Just hard up.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. So, all done. This has been a rather tedious time in the project. Just like any other large project that you may have undertaken before, there's that point where it feels like you're never going to end, and you can't really remember when you started. However, there's still progress to report and document, so I'll continue doing that. I've been doing some other stuff as well, including a 3-part mini-series on Dresden timpani. Hopefully you'll check that out. I appreciate those of you who have contributed through my DKP Amazon wish list, all my subscribers, and those of you who have simply been watching my videos. If you haven't already, hit subscribe to keep up with this project and other related content, and as always, thanks for watching. It's just, things don't necessarily line up precisely without some hand filing, sanding, hammering, hitting, cursing, dropping, throwing, burning.